Welcome back to the second part of the underwater diorama here at Touchstones Nelson. My name is Stephanie Myers and I'm the public programmer here. I wanted to thank Fiona Mooney and her family and friends. We're here in the art lab and they're a great supporter of Touchstones, and with their support we created the art lab, which is a lovely location to have available to folks whether they're visiting our gallery spaces or down in the archives. They can pop in here to art lab and create some crafts and art. Of course right now we're closed, so I'm here by myself. So where we left the diorama yesterday was we had our kind of imaginary shoreline in, some of the tissue paper on there for color, and then we've got egg cartons in back there for texture. So we'll probably continue on putting some more egg cartons back there for texture. And then what I thought we'd do, we have our three little Tom Thomson paintings, and so I was thinking about kind of, I think this will work. It's kind of doing this one, and what we might do is put a little bit of tissue paper back there as well. Yesterday I mentioned that to use kind of the same colors around on those three pictures, so it will actually look like a little bit of a landscape in the back, and that'll give us that. So maybe I'll do a little bit more egg carton application here. Actually, it actually works better to put the glue on the egg carton and then jam it in there wherever you want it, as opposed to trying to do it the other way around. So do that, and like that. I think I'm relatively happy with what that looks like. If I use my imagination and like, I'm gonna put a little tissue paper on there, and then the Tom Thomson paintings. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna go with. There are three Thomson paintings: the Bling Inlet, George Bay, Algonquin October, and what was the other one? Pine Island. So we'll cut those out. So I'm going to make the top of the diorama. I'm just going to use, do I have any light blue? I'm going to do some light blue up there, and then I'm going to use some of the white to create clouds. I'm just going to willy-nilly. That. And then like so. And I actually have a hole in the top of my box, and I think I'm actually going to leave that open just because I might hang something through there, or yeah, so that's what I'm going to do for now. So these are kind of going to go like that maybe, and this one's there. So yeah, you can kind of figure out where you want to put them, and then based on that you can use your tissue paper and cover up the stuff behind them. So I'm going to use similar colored tissue paper as to the colors that I have in there. So that, and a little bit of orange. So glue stick, like, I don't know, I think glue stick will work okay on like egg carton tissue paper application. Let's see here. And again, you can make it kind of, you don't have to make it smooth, you can make it lumpy and bumpy. Yeah, that's okay. And maybe some like this. All of that maybe down there. And then that's fine, because that painting's going to stick kind of on top of that there. And here. that texture. And I think the paintings themselves, once we stick the Tom Thomson paintings in there, they're going to need a glue gun, I think, because the paper's so much stiffer. I don't think this will work, so I'll get our glue gun out for that and delicately attach those. I'm just trying to match the tissue paper to the colors that I used in the actual, when I painted my Tom Thomsons. And I didn't use the colors that he used. If you remember, those are the colors that he used. That's the Pine Island and Bly Inlet, and then that's the Algonquin in October. So he used really kind of fall-y colors. That was sort of the palette that he was using. But this is where that painting was going to go in, was sort of there. So I've kind of surrounded it with colors that are sort of similar to what I was painting with, and then so I'm going to stick that in there. And I'm also thinking that this is, I'm going to put it more up back actually, because this is where I'm also considering putting the orange bridge. We were talking about putting an orange bridge in here, and I'm trying to make an orange bridge yesterday after we finished the first part of the diorama with just the little tiny toothpicks, and it's a glue gun disaster waiting to happen. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it in a different way. So what I'm thinking about doing for doing an orange bridge is sort of like, so I've got the painting stuck back there. I haven't glued it back there yet. And then something like this with the toothpick for the orange bridge. So that's where the Tom Thomson painting is back there now. So you can see, because we're not using natural light right now, the colors look kind of funny, but the Tom Thomson painting's back there in the corner. And then I'm going to put the other ones, and I'm going to put this one up here now. So that one's going to go there, and then the third one's going to go, I'm just going to go wrap like that. Yeah. And then so this is what it'll kind of look like. I've got the first one there, and the kind of the upper one kind of, it's sort of finished. And then I'm gonna work a little bit on the orange bridge so you can see what that looks like, and then we can continue on with those other ones. And I'll be putting, like, I haven't finished down here at all, but I'm just sort of showing you kind of what it's gonna look like. So maybe I'll mess around with how an orange bridge is gonna look. It's one of those things that you see all the time, but it's like, then when you actually try to create it, it's difficult. So I'm going to work from this picture of the orange bridge. So we've also got these things too, the like popsicle sticks. I think you have some orange ones. So I'm going to take my smaller brush, get it good and black, and then sort of, and it's funny, it's actually kind of shaped the same shape as the orange bridge. So I'm just sort of making dabs and lines somewhere that give it a sort of idea, and if you make it symmetrical-ish, then what I did there was I used we've got those orange popsicle sticks, and then I just did kind of lines on it. And it's, you know, it's maybe it's an orange bridge. Like that. So maybe I'm going to work on some clouds up here at the top too. So with the white, because he's got lots of, both those paintings that we painted, he's got lots of clouds in them. So I'm going to work, I'm going to create that sort of look of the Tom Thomson paintings, and maybe put one kind of in between. for the clouds, I'm just really crumpling up the white tissue paper and then seeing where I can get it to stick. Got it, rolling it around a little bit and get in there. So I just did the clouds kind of like really crumpled up white tissue paper with the glue stick and just sort of push them around there until they decide if they wanted to stay in place. And then this again, orange tissue paper on that. And then again, use more of those colors that we've been working with whatever we used for painting the actual Tom Thomson images. So I'm going to get blue there, do a little okay, so I'm happy with that, I think. So I'm going to put these ones back in there. I just took them out to like put the tissue paper in around behind them, and I'm happy with that. There we go. We've got our kind of up above land area with our 3 Tom Thomson paintings and our imaginary orange bridge. Okay, so underwater stuff. We've got, I was messing around with so we've got our styrofoam balls. So I took the big styrofoam ball and I cut them in half, and then I was thinking about putting the pipe cleaners in them and cutting them off about this long and making a jellyfish. And maybe I'll actually use the white ones, and I'll make this guy a white guy because he'll look. So I've cut the styrofoam ball in half, so just with a big pair of craft scissors, or kind of a knife would work as well. And then I'm just going to take the pipe cleaners and put them in like this. Is that enough legs for a jellyfish? I think so. And then I have to say that kind of looks adorable, to be perfectly honest. And then I've got, of course, googly eyes. And we've also got sequins. I'm gonna pour some of the sequins out. So I just sort of took the glue stick and like rubbed it on them a little bit, and then I'm just gonna roll them in sequins and see what happens. So that's a sequiny jellyfish. And then you've got googly eyes, so we can googly eye this guy. His eyes the same size, doesn't matter. Nope, not. So he's actually going to stand up, that's convenient. So, there we go. One googly-eyed, sequined jellyfish for under there. And then maybe we'll do a second one with different colors, and I'll see if the paint will work on this stuff. It may or it may not, so we'll try that. It looks like it's going to work, so we'll see. So I'm just going to paint, and I've picked this color because this is the other color that we have with the pipe cleaners. We also have green, I think I gave you as well. So I'm just going to do this. To let them dry after we paint them. Okay, so I'm going to set him aside and let him dry. So I was going to use more egg cartons down below too to give so this is going to be the bottom of the lake basically. So we're gonna put some rocks and stuff down there. So it's almost the same sort of idea that we used on the top. Just rip apart some egg carton pieces and we'll put them down there, and you can use whatever you want really, whatever part of the egg carton you want to sort of create some texture. So I'm just going to use this kind of long thin piece that I ripped off and put that back there like so. And then again, we're going to be covering this sort of with tissue paper to give it that sort of, some sort of naturalistic look to it. And then this will be covering up with tissue paper. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's just to sort of give it that, give it something so it's not so linear. Around so you can see. This so you can see, so I'm just I'm kind of going to do it a little bit on all of the corners just because this is, like when you look at it, that's the shoreline, right? So as it comes down, it's not going to be a straight in and a straight down. So I'm kind of going to do on all four corners a little bit of the same sort of modifications, whatever sort of fashion you want. And then we'll start covering it with tissue paper, and then we've got lots of rocks and shells and stuff to do in there, and then we can start creating some underwater sea creatures too. I'm gonna do all one on the sides is what I'm gonna do a little bit too. Hopefully no glue gun burns yet from anyone. Dangerous instrument that it can be. Okay. So I've just got a kind of a willy-nilly bit of egg cartons glued down in around the different corners and on the sides to sort of give it that look of not the inside of a box. So maybe we'll work with that. I might do one kind of big rock feature kind of in the middle there actually. So, on to a little bit of sort of the same thing we did up above, kind of the application of the tissue paper to give it that sort of the color. Okay, so I'm just going to do a glue stick on the bottom there. Some blacks and some browns, but whatever colors you want. And we'll probably be using lots of those rocks and shells on the bottom too, so. Or maybe some of the rocks on the, kind of up here still, we finish up there. And then the shells on the bottom down here. Kind of bluey greens. So maybe I'm gonna work on sort of like one corner so I can get that sort of looking like something. And then just more tissue paper stuff up here. And this stuff, when I'm using using kind of the sides of these things. I'm going to kind of crumple the tissue paper so it's kind of got this these vertical lines in it that might give the illusion that you're underwater. Yeah, something like that. So there's this colored paper as well. There's the kind of just the squares of colored paper is one color on one side, one color on the other. I thought we'd do maybe some kind of sea anemones. Try saying sea anemones large times. So if we take this, and then I've folded it in half, and it doesn't matter if it's uneven or whatever, it's because it's just, it is. And then we're going to go and do little slices up it like this with the scissors. Even if I cut through metal with these scissors, they still work pretty good. So, like that, and then, so you've got this, and then if you take this and kind of roll it into a tube, like so. And this paper is perfect because it's because it does have the two colors in each side, because that looks like it's a bit more. And you kind of squish them down like so. And then you can glue that. So I'm going to use a glue gun to glue that, but I'm actually not going to put that in there yet because it's going to be one of the front things. So I'll probably work on the stuff behind it first as opposed to doing that. And then we've also, so we've got the springs, these little spring things that I found here at Touchstones, and they were just adorable, so I didn't know what to do with them. Because I used a yellow spring on them, I'm going to paint them yellow. So, okay, and that's all painted yellow. So let that sit and dry. No, don't need our paintbrushes in the water, it's not good for them. So we're just going to let this guy sit and dry. Do a little bit more of the background here, and I'm going to use a different color. And I've kind of thrown science completely out the window because Canoe Lake is not a marine environment, it's an aquatic environment, but there wouldn't be any jellyfish, I don't think, in Canoe Lake. But that's okay. These blues too, got lots of blues to make the underwater look great, so that's awesome. So that's sort of, I just did big long strips and crinkled it vertically, so it's, and then kind of alternated different colors of the greens and the blues and give it the kind of underwater look that it's gonna have. And then, so jellyfish. This is some wire that I gave you. We're gonna see about using it to attach the jellyfish to the inside. Pokes into his little head. So I'm just kind of pushing it up close, and then I'm poking it all the way through. And then once I get it through, I'm just gonna put a little bend in it so it doesn't pull back out, basically. Or doesn't pull back out very easily. And then sort of figure out, like, have a look in there of like where you want to kind of have them situated. And then mark the wire cut the wire, and I think the glue stick should hold that. So it definitely might need some time to let it cool. So let a daub of glue sort of where I want them to be. And then I'm going to stick the wire in that glue, and I'm going to just let it sit and really cool. While I've got this laying down and cooling, I'm going to stick some of my rocks down here. And then I'm also gonna stick the anemone guy that I made, and I kind of glue a little there, and then around there, and then stick him right there, and hold him while he dries. Like, I'm kind of squishing down his fringy bits to make him look more realistic. So I'm gonna pull the wire up and make him a little bit shorter so he's not impeding the movement of the sea anemone. Let me just give you some diorama homework. So I gave you these, and so what we're going to do next time is I think I'm going to run string of a yarn inside either vertically or horizontally. I don't know which yet. And then we're going to attach some of these to them. So if you want to take your watercolors and paint these and cut them out as well, and then so we'll make them, when I've made them, they look like this, so we can put them on the yarn and fold them over, so if they flip around, they still are fish or seahorses or whatever on either side. So we'll do that, and then you can kind of finish. You can finish your tissue paper down here, and you can attach some more rocks, and then you can make another. Where did I lost my? If these guys ever dry, which maybe they won't. If these guys ever dry, you can make another jellyfish and hang him from wherever you want as well. And then we've got this guy that when he dries too, we're going to stick him down maybe on one of the rocks or something like that, and probably put some googly eyes on him because can't go wrong with googly eyes. Well, thank you for your time, and I will see you on Friday. And if you come up with any ideas, you can email me, and I can get the supplies and we can make that happen as well. Have a good day. Okay, bye.